I am determined to get that service light off this Transit because it's doing me nutting, and we're going to put some genuine heater plugs in. Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Yes, we are going to be putting heater plugs into this because this is the last fault we have with this engine. I say that, but most probably not, that we can get the service light off. If you remember, I've done lots of different little things to this, putting the battery sensors on, reconnecting the oil sensor, and just all little bits which are just, you know, they add up quite quickly, but it's just so nice to be able to start the thing and not have that. Like, we are outside and there is a shitload of birds making a shitload of noise, but apart from that we should be sound. Now I'm putting genuine heater plugs in. That's just me. You can do what you want. The really funny thing is, if I show aftermarket ones, I'll get grief. Oh, you can't believe you're putting aftermarket ones. If I show genuine ones from the same fucking unit, oh, I can't believe you're putting genuine ones, you're getting ripped off. So it doesn't matter what I do, I can never win. This is what I'm doing. You can do what you want. But because this is a rear-wheel drive tranny, and we all know a rear-wheel drive tranny is the best type of tranny, if you know what I mean.
That's what she said.
The heater plugs are along the side rather than at the front, which makes it a lot fucking harder to get to. You have to take a lot of stuff off to get to them because they're right at the top of the intake manifold, and you cannot do it without taking the intake manifold down. Don't have to actually take it off. We just need to unbolt it and take it down a little bit, and most probably going to have to also take the bolt off the EGR valve at the back. Now again, I'm doing it outside, I'm on the floor, so this is going to be interesting. And you can bet your life, as soon as I start stripping, there's going to be, I'm going to get a phone call, oh, can you come and collect my car? And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few bits off first, just off camera, because there's no point me showing you. So take off this couple of 8mm bolts on here, and take off the cover, take off maybe this pipe here, so the fuel feed pipe go into the common rail, and maybe just a couple of sensor clips and stuff, just a few things to get out of the way which you're not going to be able to see on camera. And then hopefully we can just undo the bolts on the intake manifold, push it down a little bit, and get to the heater plugs, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they're not cross-threaded, they're not anything like that, they're not damaged. That's my hope, but we don't know. So a simple job which is not particularly simple on these could turn into an absolute fucking nightmare, but wish me luck. I should be a lot further on than what I actually am, and we have a few little issues. I was hoping to get this pipe off, but down there it's quite rusty. I can't get it off, but I think I need to move the manifold out a little bit, so I'm hoping I've disconnected it from here. Take that 10mm off, should have enough movement. What's going to make your life a lot easier, especially to take off the one right down there, even though I can't, well I can, but I'm going to have to just mess around with it, is these style sockets. They're really good, because they're like a O2 socket, because they go over the bar there, and it allows you to turn, especially one right down there where you can't get a spanner to it. These, no problem, you can get a spanner to it. This is a set I got from Laser, so yeah, really good. But down there, just turn the light on, down there you're not really able to get a spanner on there easily, so that's where they really come in. Now we've got 5 bolts across the top, 10mm, and 4 bolts across the bottom. Some of them are really quite easy, well all of them really, apart from one. You see the EGR valve here, right here, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to show you underneath. There's one directly behind that. Once you get that one off, it really is plain sailing. The reason why I thought I had an issue is because I was testing the wires. I just wanted to test them before I stripped all this, because I knew it was going to be a bit of a nightmare, just in case we had an issue with, say, the relay or something. And I was only getting like 4.9 volts, 4.4 volts, and I'm thinking, oh, that's not right, it should be 12 volts, but these are 4.4 volts. So Don't test these the way I showed you on previous videos, because you'll blow them up, because they're only 4.4 volts. Anywho, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you underneath the 2 bolts we need to get off the EGR valve. There is a little gasket plate there, metal plate, so be careful of that too. They're 13mm bolts under there, and what's going to make your life so much easier doing a job like this is an electric ratchet, or even an air ratchet, you know, but an electric ratchet, because let's get underneath here. Believe me, it's just going to make your life so much easier. Now you can see the pipe sticking out there, that's the EGR valve. I've taken off the bottom bolt, and hopefully you can just see the stud. Can you see that? Even this really small camera can't get in. The stud, you see where the bolt's missing at the bottom? Well, the other one's directly on top of that. They're 13mm. So this is what they look like. And we need to get that other one off so we can push the EGR valve back and hopefully get to that other 10mm bolt that's hiding in behind there. And then we can just, I'm not taking the manifold completely off, but I just want it enough to so I can move it out of the way, drop it down a little bit so I can actually take the heater plugs out. But that's another issue, taking the heater plugs out. These could be cross-threaded, they could, it's just lots of shit could be happening. So yeah, and I didn't heat up the engine before I did it because I'm a clever bastard, aren't I? I'm really a fucking genius. What a knob. Fuck. Right, you can see now where the last one is, or the hardest one to get out, should I say. So there's the top of the EGR valve. Once you take them 2 bolts out the bottom, you can kind of bend it out the way because there's a flexi pipe here. You don't have to disconnect anything else, and it gives you enough room to put the ratchet in to get that last bolt off. But to get them 2 bolts out underneath, they can be an absolute nightmare because they're really tight and there's not a lot of room. So what I had to do is I just pushed out the connection for the, well, I didn't push it out, there's a little there's a pipe going to your clutch and it's held on by a little rubber grommet. I just pulled out the rubber grommet and pushed it to the side. That allowed me to get this bad boy in. I only got this the other day, and Jesus Christ, it's one of the new DeWalt 18V jobbies. I haven't got my new batteries, so I got some super slim batteries coming, because otherwise it's a bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a lump at the back. But anyway, without that I wouldn't have been able to do it as easy. I got them out in seconds. It's not a sponsored video. I really wish DeWalt would sponsor me. Come on DeWalt, sponsor me. Shit's costing me a fortune. But I have to say, without that thing, it is unreal. And this is their new, this is interchangeable heads, so you can put different you know, 3/8, ½ inch on this, and it's really powerful. Anyway, hopefully now I think this is out. I hope. Just double check. I'm a bit of a bitch putting this EGR valve back. I know it is because I bent it out of the way, but I think it's out. Is it out? Or is it not out? Oh, it's out. I think. Yes. No, it's not. It's the back one out. This is why I can't film it, like taking all these out, because there's just no room. This one isn't out yet, but hopefully put this in now again. Oh, you fucker, come on. You can see, oh, I can't get that in now. Is it because that's come out? I can spin it with my finger. Oh yes. Oh yes. Now a good thing is these bolts don't come out the manifold, they're held in with a little Tainer washer, so you don't have to worry about losing them. What we do have to worry about is actually getting this thing out. It doesn't want to. Why don't you want to come out? So I definitely got them all undone. Yeah. No, this one isn't. Just spin it with my finger. That one undone. It is now. Right. I just have to twangle this out of the way. I can see them and they look very rusty. It's not going to be fun, this. Let me get that down a little bit more and then I'll show you. Right, I'm going to show you this last heater plug coming out. I've shown on a video how to remove like a seized heater plug. I am going to be doing a video very soon on how to remove a broken one. I was told when I got this that he replaced them. Now, when you look at them, and I know this guy, I just kind of know what he's like because when I went down to his shed, these are genuine plugs. These aren't just replaced a couple of years ago. He would not buy genuine plugs. They even say on it, look, 4.4 volts, so we know we was right. Do the new ones say that? It's a bit interesting. These are genuine Ford ones as well. Oh, they do say 4.4. So, yeah. I know he hasn't replaced them because he certainly wouldn't put genuine ones in. He's a fucking idiot. The shit that I found on this van is just unreal. But anyway, I didn't have a choice. There was only this one and another one to choose from, and this was the better one. Anyway, this one's quite lucky in the sense of the retaining bolts, or the bolts that go onto the top of the heater plugs, they're retained within this, so you can't lose them, which is really, really good. I'm going to show you a little trick in a minute if that is not the case, because if it wasn't, it would go straight into the intake of your engine, and then you're going to have to take the engine out. You're in serious shit. Or maybe not so much take the engine out, but you're going to have to start doing a lot of stripping. You're in a lot of trouble, and bye-bye engine. They all came out, all three of them so far. Number 4 tends to be, or can be, an issue because it's a little bit awkward, even though actually, to be fair, number 4 isn't awkward. You've actually got more room, it's just further away from you, but the room to take off number 4, there's nothing else in the way. It's actually really handy, but someone could have cross-threaded it or over tightened it in the past. So hopefully number 1's going to come out. I couldn't get this pipe off because it's kind of seized in down there, so this is also a little bit harder, because if I could push the manifold down a little bit more and I'll have a hell of a lot more room. Now I'm just using a 1/4 inch ratchet, so I'm not using a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch. It's the smallest one you can get, but it is quite long.
That's what she said.
So, you know, you don't want to be putting too much pressure. The other thing is, anything smaller than it, or anything bigger than this, you're going to struggle to get the socket and the extension down, especially because I can't get it out of the way enough. So let's see if this comes off. You hear that bit of a click first? Oh, yeah, that feels okay. Now, to be fair to these, they don't, I say that, and someone's going to prove me wrong, but in general, these aren't really too bad as regards seizing compared to other vehicles. So these ones tend to come out kind of okay. They're just a nightmare to get to, which is the annoying part. And now I've actually got that socket stuck between the manifold and the plug, just because I can't get it out enough. Oh, she said. Oh, I could be in trouble here. Yeah, look at that. You can see that's really falling in behind. I really need to get this out. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Can I twangle it out of the way with a bit of brute force? Come on, we're close. Come on. Oh. This one should be fairly handy. It's just because I can't get the fucking fuel pipe off. That's what's causing me an issue. Ah. Oh, bastard. Not good for my socket. It's because the heat plug won't bend, obviously, because it's just a straight metal pipe, and I kind of need it to bend. Where'd that big extension go? Just need a tiny tiny bit of room. Just a tiny bit of room. Oh, you twat. Oh, come on, you're so close. Just even get off the fucking heater plug, you prick. And then I can get the heater plug out separately. Oh, fucking arsehole. I'm gonna get it out. I push down on that, on the threads of the heater plug, because I don't care if I damage it, because it's fucked anyway. And I lift up on this. Will that work? Oh, come on, you fucking prick of fucking. So close. There we go. Fucking arsehole. Brute force all the time. See, I was pushing down on there, I was holding the threads. You can see where I've damaged the threads to push down onto it to try and lift up that. So they're all out, which is obviously excellent news. Brilliant. None of them have broke, none of them have snapped, none of them weigh anything. That's awesome. Right, I'm going to put it back now. I've done the other three, and I know what some of you are thinking. I want you to be honest in the comment. You're thinking, well, hold on. If you struggle to get it out, how the fuck are you going to get it in? Well, I didn't struggle to get the socket in. What I actually struggled is once the threads have come out, which makes it that bit longer, and once the socket goes on, and the length, that's the wrong one, but anyway, you get what I mean. Once the length of the socket goes on, it then jammed itself. Once I put it in by hand and screw it down, the socket is not going to jam itself because it's not out enough. You get me? Do you get me? So we shouldn't really have an issue. So it should go in, which it does. Should then hopefully be able to get this on, just to turn it, because you want to do it as much by hand as possible. That's the thing with heater plugs I find the most. It's not that there's an issue when you take them out, if someone has over tightened them, which then causes an issue taking out. Now you can see that, look, it's gone all the way down by hand. And now what I'm going to do is very lightly, that's it, that's all I'm going to do. See, you don't want any more than that. That's just causing you problems. On most heater most heater plug boxes, it tells you the torque, and it's like a couple of newtons. It's nothing. So I could go absolutely mental on it, but I'm not. I just tightened a little bit there, but it's just best just to put your hand down. Don't use the length of the ratchet. If you can, always use a 1/4 inch ratchet, because you know, for example, a 3/8 ratchet looks a hell of a lot longer. You get a lot more leverage on it, and you just want to click just like that, and you really shouldn't have a problem. Now, what I was talking about this before, if you don't want to lose these, a couple of things you can do. If we imagine this is here screwing it off, you can get a magnet and put it close to it like that, so when it comes off, the magnet will catch the bolt. You can also get some sockets with magnets in. You can also get magnets for your socket. What you can also do, which is really handy, this is a bit I used before, you can do it a couple of ways. You can get some tape. This is just normal electrical tape. I want that, right? All you do then is put it over the socket like that, and then when you push this down onto it, it will kind of act as a bit of a lock. The socket will go in between, or the bolt will go in between that, and it will kind of lock onto the socket, so it won't come out. And next thing you want to do, and you kind of want to do all of these things at once, it's a fail safe. So you do the magnet, you do the tape, but you also put a piece of rag in there just in case it does fall off. It's all fail safes, because if this does fall off, now obviously on this one it's not going to, I'm gonna have to start taking the whole intake manifold off, which is hours upon hours. It's, you know, it makes the job 10 times harder, which I don't want to do. It's awkward enough job as it is. So what I need to do now is try and feed this back in. The hardest part of this is going to be putting the I shouldn't have really taken that out, the camera's in the way now, is putting the this way maybe, is going to be putting the EGR valve back. It's going to be kind of the hardest part. Let's get all this back into place. Alright, 7mm on these. Again, I'm not going to be able to film it because you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. But we're going to screw all them down and then that'll get all them back. Then we've got to get this back, which again, that's going to be easy. Oh, I also had to take off a couple of the fuel lines as well, just because it was just in my way. Hopefully we won't have to bleed this thing. I might have to, but hopefully I won't. Because once you start taking off all this, the fuel can just go back into the tank. It'll create an airlock. So hopefully I won't have to, but if I do, I do. It's not too bad. There's a Schrader valve on this, so it's fairly easy enough to bleed. A lot easier than some others out there. But yeah, let me get this back on and we'll see about the EGR valve. Right, so I've got a couple on, 7mm. I just thought I'd show you because, like I said, the biggest issue I see with heater plugs is everyone over tightens everything. These are only a 7mm bolt that go on to the top of the heater plug, and if you over tighten it even by it, you'll snap it and then you'll cause all sorts of problems, because this will spin here and the bolt, so you won't be able to get it off the wires, and you're just going to be in all sorts of problems. So should be simple enough. Screw it on by hand. There we go. So I'm going to do them all first. Hand tight. They are like a little lock nut on them, which is obviously handy because of vibration. But one last one to go. I can't really see this one. And there we go. So I've got them all on, so I know I'm good. I know I can then, same again, get the top of the ratchet. Well, screw in then, I already had it in. There we go. And then just top of the ratchet, hardly any force. Bang. You don't want to hear a bang. It's the last thing you want to fucking hear. Top of the ratchet, twist. Top of the ratchet, twist. And top of the ratchet. Oh, I didn't have that one on as tight as I thought. Top of the ratchet and twist. There we go. Now obviously over time this just will happen, they will tighten. The hot and cold of the engine, the heat cycles, the vibrations, they'll just kind of tighten. So it shouldn't still be a problem taking them off. When you over tight them, and they get even tighter then with all the rust and the crap that goes down into them, because you can see all the rust and the crap. Now looking up, it didn't go in the threads, but you get what I'm saying. You know, it just causes even more tightness, and in this case tightness isn't a good thing. In some cases it bloody is. Oh, what? Hold on, I never took that off. Leave the sensor off. Oh, maybe I did. Hold on. No, I didn't. Is this snapped? No, but it's off. What is it? It's a fuel pump sensor. I never took that off. Well, maybe I did. Well, I don't remember. Anyway, not to worry, we'll put it back. We now think this is done. We've now got to lift the manifold up and get it back into place. Ugh. And of course the bolts, ah, you bastard, the bolts are pushed down and caught in between barlocks. Be careful now, because I'm just going to break every fucking thing because I'm going to get angry. Ah, come on, there we go. We got it. Ugh. There. Nope. Oh, you bastard. What's stopping me now? There's just no fucking room here. No point me really filming this because you can't see what I'm doing. All I'm doing is swearing. Oh. Time for a break, I think. Because I'm just going to get angry. I'm going to break everything around me. I know I am. Start throwing shit. Because it's just sometimes easier to start throwing shit and getting angry. It's been scientifically proven that getting angry and swearing helps you. So there you go. It's not helping me at the minute though. Oh, it looks like it's going to piss it down too. Joys of being a mobile mechanic. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off and have a break and try and get this on. Right, I think I've done everything up here. Everything's clipped back into place. All my connections are on, I think. But not 100% as well, I just think they are. Got a cable tie there. Yeah. So I'll show you underneath what I was talking about before with moving the pipe. Right. So you can see I got the 2 bolts back on the EGR valve. This is what I was talking about. So let me move my torch. You can see the clutch line there. Turn on the light of the cameras. So I just literally moved it out of the way like that. That's what I did. Let me put it back. Like that. That was enough to then get me the ratchet in. So this was in my way. So I think we're done. Right, okay, I've got all the doors shut, all the bonnets down and everything, so there's no codes coming up here, red light saying door open, because I want to see, how's everything gone? Do I need to reset it? Do we have other issues? Yeah, so I might have to reset everything though, because I did have a lot of plugs disconnected and could have done something. Just turn the ignition on first. Just turn the ignition on first. There we go. No. Still got engine malfunction. What the fuck? Will it start at least? Right, it's only a service now light, it's not a red light. I don't want to turn it off yet because I want to make sure that the fuel goes all the way through, it doesn't airlock itself. Right, let me get a scan tool set up and we'll see what's going on. Right, I'm just letting it go for a full scan. This little bad boy is a competition giveaway. By the time you see this video, it'll already been given away, but that's why you need to watch the videos for competition giveaways, because I've got a feeling now we're going to be doing a lot more competition scan tool giveaways. Anyway, we've got 5 faults on there. That's kind of a good thing, because that should mean it's all the maybe the things that I disconnected, I'm hoping. But we'll see. Right, well, okay, crash occurred. That's a bit weird, but anyway, it hasn't. Fuel injector, okay, so we've got a fuel injector pending, but we've got no back. We've got no oh, what I meant to go into it. We've got no heater plug codes now, which is good. So let's just click. Oh, fuck yeah. Some fucking button. Right, press the right button this time, you tit. No trouble codes. Now let's see what happens when we start it. Right. Oh, I think we're okay. Just do it again. Oh baby, yeah. Whoo! Finally got that fucking light off. Awesome, awesome. So there we go. That's how you do heat plugs in these. Bloody annoying. Other cars are easier, but you know. Look, and there's no bloody light on. So after all the battery monitors, what else do we have? Battery monitors, heater plugs, oil sensors which wasn't plugged in, ABS sensor which failed, a couple of other things. Oh yeah, we had an indicator issue, didn't we? And yeah, but bloody awesome, awesome. So there we go. As always, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, but links down below. But most important, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted. Right, we are not done. Look at this, we got all them fault codes back. Now what I did do, well, I haven't done anything yet, because when I saw the fuel injector pending, I was like, oh, I wonder if I do a few cycles if the fuel injector fault code will come back. But before I worry about these ones, I've got to worry about that one. So I'll show you now in a second. We're at 11.9 volts on our battery, which just isn't enough. So what I will do is, if I clear these fault codes, watch this. And then I start it. Well, actually, before I start it, let me just turn it off, reset the light. So press my foot on the brake and the throttle. It'll do a service reset. We've gone down to 11.6 volts now. All right. So let me, all right, the light's gone off. We've gone to 13 or 14 volts now. All right, let me run that for a few minutes. That light will not come off. Once I leave the van off for say 10-15 minutes and the battery voltage goes down, it causes all that issues. Now, we could still have an injector issue on this van. I'm not saying we don't. But the fact that the batteries are just too low could be causing all them issues. So it could just be a battery issue. And the reason why I'm saying it's just a battery issue is I know if I keep driving this and the battery voltage doesn't go low, them lights won't come back. So if I turn it off, start it again, see, the lights haven't come back because the battery didn't drop below the safe voltage that the car recognizes. So stay tuned for more videos.